Hey friends, welcome to episode 8 of Thief. In this episode, I'm going to work my way through the last few subtools and finalize a few of the other details. So what I do first is I get started on the dagger. Now, the subtool for the dagger was from a different model that I had previously made and dropped in, and so what I did is made a few quick adjustments to make it match more closely the concept art that I had put out. Now, look at this, a little block of cheese. What I'm doing now is creating a subtool, and this is how I would have made the dagger originally also. So I start with simple shapes and start putting them and piecing them together into an object. So I got the main block that's going to be one of her pouches, because she's got a couple of backpacks that I sketched out on the concept art, and so I want to make kind of like a fancy bag that she has. Thieves have to carry a bunch of little tools, so I feel like if she has one prized possession, it's going to be her backpack. And so I made kind of a little fancy bag made in a particular style. Now what I do, once I have those different parts put together, I merge it into one tool and then import the tool onto the main model. Now I've got this funny blocky object that I now get to size and shape and bend so that it moves to the form of her body. It's attached to her belt, and so it needs to curve, and I made the object separately, and then once I get it actually in place, I'm able to curve it and shape it appropriately. Now she has multiple bags that are the same style, so I went in back to the original object, made it smaller, made some changes, then made a copy of it and put it on the main model and spent some time adjusting it in place. This is a really extremely useful process that you would use a lot on a complicated model. Someone that has weapons or armor or other kinds of objects that you would put on the model. You would do that a lot. You'd be moving to a different space, creating the object, and then putting it on the model. If it's something simple like this belt buckle, I can just make the rectangle, get it all stuck to size, shape it, and sculpt it in place, and it's not a big deal to do something like that. But where it's like 5 or 6 different little parts like on those bags, it's nice to do it in a separate space so you don't have to look at this giant thief body whirling around while you're really just focusing on a little bag. Now, another part about finalizing is that I'm working my way through the model, and now I'm not just thinking about details, I'm also thinking about the mold making process. And the mold needs to have very, very limited to no undercuts, so I'm thinking about how I'm going to get these different parts to work with a 2-part mold process, and then also, while I'm thinking about all of that, I'm criticizing the figure and figuring out what needs to get touched up and cleaned up and fixed and what little details I might have missed. So really a lot of this video is me just looking at the model and looking at the model and looking at the model. You've got to apply a critical eye to all the parts that you haven't maybe thought about for a while. So like even just a second ago, I go in back around that ear and sort of fiddle with the hair. That's stuff that we were working on hours and hours ago, but now I can think about it. There I also dropped the tab in. If you've collected metal miniatures, you know that there's often a tab and that fits into the slotted base. Stuck that in there, changed it to 2016 because it is. That's kind of fun. So now that I have the tab in place with the appropriate date, I just save the figure and we're done.